this is Ida Dolce with Veganize This, where we take classically non-vegan dishes and make them completely plant-based. So today I'm actually celebrating my 14-year vegan anniversary, and while we are in quarantine, that doesn't mean I can't make myself a little something. So I'm actually going to make Italian Amaretti cookies. This is something I have been toying with for a long time, and after about 6 months of nonstop testing, finally got it right. They are very, very buttery, almondy. There's no butter in them though. They just have a nice buttery taste. And they're just so delicious. They remind me of my great grandma, who I actually didn't know, but my dad used to always tell me stories of her making homemade pasta and Amaretti cookies. So this is a little nod to her, to Aunt Dolce. All right, so traditionally, Amarettis are just made with almond flour, sugar, and egg whites. So what this is something called aquafaba, which is the liquid that's in your can of chickpeas. This became huge in the vegan world about 5 years ago, and it's been used to finally make, it's like the holy grail. It makes lots of things with egg whites, macarons, Amaretti cookies. I've made Swiss meringue buttercream with it, lemon meringue pie. It's been great. So the only thing about it though is it does take quite a while to whip, quite a bit longer than traditional egg whites. So in here I have a 1/4 cup of aquafaba. That's from about 1 whole can. Now what I actually did was I reduced it. So I took the contents in a can, which always seems to yield exactly 3/4 of a cup, and reduced it down in a pot over medium heat until it was 1/4 of a cup. Let it cool. Now, just like egg whites, these will not whip if there's any fat or any kind of contaminant in here, so make sure your bowl, your beaters, whatever you're using is clean. If you do have a stand mixer, I do have one. It goes a lot quicker, but I'm just gonna use a hand mixer just for everyone. You do not wanna do this by hand with an actual whisk. It'll take a while. So I'm gonna turn this on, and once this gets, it's gonna start getting frothy. Just like this. All right, now that it's frothy and some of the bubbles have decreased, I'm gonna stream in on and off about just a little over a 1/2 cup of sugar. Now you want it to be kind of heaping because this is gonna create the structure for it as well. All right, just a little bit at a time. This is, you can do a steady stream if you are using a stand mixer, but since I'm gonna use a hand mixer, I'm gonna do little bits at a time. You can keep it going nonstop. It's just very loud if it's on the table, so I'm gonna lift it. So you get the idea, you're gonna go until you have all the sugar in here. Now, like I said, this does take upwards of about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me do this for 15 minutes over and over again. So I have some already whipped. All right, we wanna get this to stiff peaks. As you can see, stiff peaks. Sorry, not jump over. My cat's knocking over my broom. All right. So stiff peaks, what we are looking for. These deflated a little bit, so I'm gonna have to kind of whip them back up, no big deal. Looking for good, we can stick it in medium peaks. This has deflated a tiny bit, plus there's sugar in it. Next thing we're gonna add, this is a tablespoon of amaretto and a teaspoon of almond extract put together. This is gonna create our almond flavor. We gotta really whip this one for about at least a minute just to get all that air back in. Oh, it smells so good already. Beautiful, awesome. All right, so we're done there. Now in here I have 2 cups of almond flour. So these are not only vegan, they're also gluten-free. So if you have celiac, you don't eat flour, or if you're like me and you're in quarantine and every grocery store seems to be out of flour, a lot of them still have almond flour, so you can use this. Now in here I also whisk together 1/2 teaspoon of salt and very important, half a teaspoon of baking powder. Now, the one thing that aquafaba cannot do that regular egg whites can is leaven. So traditionally, Amaretti does not have any kind of chemical leavening agents, but you're gonna wanna add half a teaspoon of baking powder to this. So I'm gonna add just about a third of it right now. Now I'm gonna do what's called the folding technique. I'll lift it here. I'm gonna lift and just let it fall. Just like this. All right. Just until I have, I'd say most of it worked in. All right. Again, we're trying to keep as much of that air in as possible that we whipped in, but we want to get everything well incorporated. Not just the almond flour, but the baking powder itself. We want this to leaven. I'm going to add the next third. Beautiful. And you, of course, can do this with hazelnut flour and hazelnut liqueur and hazelnut extract. You can keep this almond and add another kind of liqueur as well. Like I've added raspberry liqueur, still kept the almond extract, still kept the almond flour, of course, but I've added raspberry liqueur just to get that nice raspberry flavor. You can add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and make these chocolate. They'll be a little stiffer, but they're still so delicious. All right, and last one. Okay, beautiful. I want to work this in a last little bit. I went vegan actually April 6th in 2006 when I was 18 years old. I was a freshman in college. And I was actually at a Whole Foods with my college friend Heather. I was already vegetarian, but I went into a Whole Foods and we had one right by campus. And I discovered there were tons of things that were already vegan, like tofu ice cream sandwiches. There are all types of non-dairy milks. They sold vegan cookies there. And I had just told my friend Heather, you know what? I think I'm gonna go vegan. And she kind of looked at me like, what? Like, you're just gonna make a decision that quickly? And I did. I never looked back. I could say, oh, I was vegan back when it was before it was cool. But I will say I've been vegan when it was a lot harder. Like before you could get almond milk at 7-Eleven, back when you had to only go to Whole Foods, back when Daiya cheese didn't exist, back when everything was just soy cheese, which is gross. And it's been amazing to see veganism evolve in these last 14 years, especially in these last 5 years. It definitely has. All right, so this is kind of what we're looking for with the batter. All right, let's get you out of the way. All right, now what I have in here is about a half cup of powdered sugar. So I'm gonna take a small scoop. Now this will make about 40 cookies because it's really hard to whip up a smaller amount of aquafaba. So these actually will last a long time. So here, 1 cookie, and I'm just gonna cover it in powdered sugar. Want to get every little nook and cranny, and then just place it on a parchment-lined baking sheet. All right. Again, this will make about 40 cookies, so make sure you have about 2 sheet pans ready. All right. After you're done here, you're gonna bake them in a 350-degree oven for anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes until they're golden brown and firm to your liking. Some people like them chewier, some like them firmer. I kind of like a sweet spot in the middle where the edge is a little brown and crunchy and the middle still has a slight chew. That's my favorite. So, once you pull them out of the oven, they will look just like this. Beautiful. Nice and crispy. Again, there's that little brown edge right there. Right here, that just has nice little caramelization in there. My hands are still wet. Oh, but those look so great. Now, my favorite way to serve them is, of course, just, you can eat them by themselves. They're great to munch on. But my favorite way to pair them is with ice cream and espresso. All right, so I already scooped myself a little bit of salted caramel ice cream that I had made a while ago. But this works really well with vanilla, chocolate, raspberry, really any flavor you like. And pour a little espresso over it. Now this is called an affogato, which really means drowned. So it's like a fancy float. And it is so, so delicious, especially with salted caramel and the Amaretti cookies on the side. And this is one of my favorite little desserts. Breakfast midnight snack kind of thing to make. So this is how we make Amaretti cookies. We have affogato con Amaretti. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to, my donation info is on the bottom. I'd like to keep making more content. I will see you guys later in the week. Thanks for watching. Ooh, I'm going in.
How are the cookies at?
Oh, so good. So good.
Alright, say bye.
Oh, now we're saying bye. I'm walking off set. These are so good. Nice and crispy with a little chew in the middle. Yum.